Guys, I'm here to get into the film Blow Up, which was released in 1966, directed by Michelangelo and Antonioni. This is one of those powerful, like, just depictions I've ever seen, which just very much reminds me of his film he would go on to make after this, Zabriskie Point, which is like an Americanized depiction of a lot of hippie revolution going on. And this is happening right in like London in 1966. And this is a very organic depiction of just like the kind of just like the London scene in general. This in the mid '60s, you could say a lot of just attention to detail and kind of like how meaning was like nihilism and great nihilism. A lot of characters kind of find, um, and there's just you could just say something very haunting and comforting about this project, both alike. There's just it just really reflects on just a lot of wonderful memories, you could say. It really hones in, I think, perfectly as a slow-paced depiction, which reminds me, it seems like it would be a strong influence on about every Stanley Kubrick film moving forward. I know he was a huge fan of Antonioni. And it's just like a film that just lives in its own kind of slow-paced perspective on life. It's just kind of a rock and roll energy looming all throughout this. Characters are just very much in a loose kind of atmosphere, just being in the moment, entirely as artists, you could say. Just they're loose, they're hanging out, they're just kind of often like just, getting around, just making their own way, you could say. A lot of Federico Fellini influence going on here as well. Very surrealistic in a toned down to earth kind of way. And a lot of it just kind of ponders, just like, like what the meaning is all saying. A lot of it's just getting lost in a depths of nihilism. Maybe that's actually the part we wanted the most all along. Just kind of looking at all that. Very fantastic depiction on art in general. It always holds up as perfectly entertaining. I don't know. I've always just loved this. I love the way Antonioni perceives intimate moments from such an epic perspective, you could say. And this is just it's just a completely captivating story from start to finish. You could say that it just embraces kind of just this sort of like loose kind of party pruder perspective. David Hemmings is just perfect as the main character here. I mean, just like I love his character in Deep Red, which is a decade later. This is just, I don't know, perfect. It's a perfect kind of just like youthful enthusiasm in acting and just characterization in general as he just gets around and just, and there's so many perfect golden scenes here. My favorite of all is probably like whenever he goes like the Yardbirds concert, like how he goes near the end. That's pretty amazing. This just holds up strongly, and I think that's strongly recommended from start to finish. There's a very original moment in Antonioni's filmography. So like in a lot of the earlier '60s, he was just looking at a lot of loneliness, and this is almost like his sort of summation on a lot of that. Maybe before like looking at it from an Americanized perspective in the following few years, this next project for this one, it's just. Yeah, this is strongly recommended from start to finish. Rich, detail-oriented perspective.